Well, Supernova Sydney is back on once again, and we're here again for some more fun and frivolity. And joining me today for the first time, and the first time in person, the second time on the show, Mr. Ben Sorensen. Welcome to A Trek Zone Conversation.
Greetings. It is so great to have you here at Supernova, and it's also great to see you in person too, because I think one of the magical things about cons and pop culture is community, and turning up all together, dressed up in the same space is absolutely the most magic thing about it. So thanks for being here.
This is a Trek Zone Conversation.
Now, Ben, it has been quite a while since we last spoke, and I have text messages between us for the last 5 years of we're going to catch up at some point. We've finally done it.
We have. The really tough thing about our lives is it's all so tightly scheduled to fit as much in as we can, because thankfully there's so much happening in the world of pop culture and cons, which is really, really wonderful.
I was going to say something, but it wouldn't make any sense to people watching now because this was all off air, but the hourly cost of therapy sessions is just through the roof.
Yeah, if you think that's bad, wait till you see the cost of couples therapy. Yeah. Whoa!
Which is why we go into singles.
Yeah, absolutely. One after the other, and the same therapist, of course, just so that they can compare notes, and then we both text the same therapist after the session to go, whose side are you on?
Couples therapy with Ben Sorensen.
Yeah, absolutely. 50 minutes, as long as I've lasted at anything.
Now, the other thing I wanted to ask you is, you gave me your business card yesterday.
Yeah.
Weird, by the way, but anyway. BenSorensen1.com.
Yeah.
Who's the original?
Well, I was the... look, here's the thing, right? So I originally owned bensorensen.com, the domain name, and then the other Ben Sorensen ended up with some of the social media things. So I went, do you know what? Because some other bastard took Ben Sorensen, they didn't count on me being number one. So that's why I added the one on the end, and then consistency is key with the online stuff. The rest of my life is totally not consistent, but I thought I'd start there. And the other Bens are there's a little unofficial group of Ben Sorensens across the planet. There's 3 or 4, and we periodically chat to each other.
Yeah, right.
And they normally give me a hard time because I occupy most of the Google search results. Yeah.
And why is that, Ben? We've kind of just gone off on the tangent first, but why do you occupy the Google search results?
I just do plenty of stupid things.
Good at porn?
Oh, no. Those sort of... now I know who my one subscriber is. That's great. Thank you for the tips. Yeah, but I didn't know you were into feet.
I'm into beards.
Ah, nice. Well, you haven't seen my feet.
I'm sorry, Mum, you are watching this.
Forcibly from your home. It's actually really interesting because I do so many events and my name pops up in a lot of press releases. Google seems to like that.
Yeah.
Plus the stupid things that I do.
Well, so why are you here at Supernova? You're at every Supernova. They fly you around the country. They obviously haven't gotten to know the real you.
Yeah,
What's the half reason?
I've kept that hidden from HR, which is amazing. I go to quite a few of them. I go to as many as I can, and I'm hosting or part of the MC team here at Supernova. And I've been doing that for, I don't know, maybe 8-10 years or something like that. And it's really amazing to see how the community grows, how the community changes, and also the different celebrities and superstars that we get in. There's obviously a merry band of superstars that keep coming back because they just love it, and we all develop really great friendships with them, but it's the community that really sets Supernova apart, I think, and also the fact that it's very family friendly as well. It's amazing to walk around and see all these little kids dressed up as their favourite superheroes from films that are MA+ that they probably shouldn't be watching. Yesterday I did the Hoyt's Kids cosplay parade, and there was 100 or so kids all dressed up, all having a great time, wandering through. It's just brilliant. And that's the magic of these events.
Who has been have you got an ultimate guest who you've shared a stage with?
Yes. Tamura Morrison, I did his panel yesterday. He is incredibly kind, but more importantly, a friendly loose cannon that just has an absolutely amazing time. Also, Jodie Whittaker, just a brilliant human and incredibly skilled, not just for her work as the Doctor, but all the other roles that she's had. So yeah, probably both of them just top of my list, and I would do that again in a heartbeat.
Now, I would never ask you to name names for this next question, but a really hard guest where you just have had to carry that panel for an hour.
Oh, actually, that's, if you have a look at my schedule for today, no.
It's actually this one right now.
Right now. Actually, do you know what? Some of I find that really interesting. And not a bad panel, but one where I've had to work a little bit harder. I normally find authors and comic artists. And that's not because they're not interesting, and it's not because they're, bad guests or anything. It's simply because what I've discovered through doing this is we all communicate in different ways and we hone our skills. And for them, they're articulate and eloquent in writing. So the written word is where they shine and they're all chatty and excitable. Whereas for me, it's words, it's the spoken word, and for comic artists, it's through their drawings. So that's probably where I have to use more of my skills to, support and encourage those other fantastic artists to share the magic of what they do in a way that may not be as familiar to them. So yeah, not the meaty question the answer that you were hoping for, but politically correct. Look at this.
Yeah. Well, look, but I think that's also true of kind of your role as well. You need to make that engaging for an hour, and how do you do that? So Tamura Morrison, he's been to Supernova quite a few times, shared a stage with him quite a few times. Not to pick on him, but just with anyone that you do that multiple times with, how do you change that for people that might be coming every time?
I think it's called autism and ADHD. That makes it super easy to keep it different every time, because if I'm bored, everyone else is bored. Guaranteed. It's also testament to the quality of superstars that we get at Supernova, because in between times that we see each other, they've done new movies, they've done new events, they've had other adventures and other things that happen in between. So we're able to actually continue the story from where we left off last time. And of course, touch back on all of the really exciting things that, they've done that they're all known for. But, I think when we look at social media or we look at movies, that's only a small percentage of an entire human's life or an entire person's career. And it's delving into that I think is really fascinating, so we can get to know the person behind, the character that we see, or behind the actor, or behind, the bit that we know and love.
Yeah, I've found that over the last 11 years of Trek Zone podcasting as well, that it's more than just, because you start off with this person, okay, well, they've got the career, let's just talk about their career. So like, you're missing the whole person, and I'm finding that a lot of my interviews of late have sort of just been, so what's happening now? rather than just, so you were, I don't know, Robert Patrick might be on the show at some point, I haven't confirmed that yet, but chatting with him, it would be kind of, so you were the T1000, and that's cool, and now tell me about the rest. But they get really bored with that, because that's what they spend their whole time talking to regular punters about. We're going to find something else, don't we, to talk about?
Yeah, I did I actually think it was in Perth years ago with Richard Dreyfuss. And he had this thing, he went, if you can ask me a Jaws question that I've never heard before, I'll give you $100. And he's kept his $100. But, you know, it's the same thing. But then, you know, you look at musicians that have that really amazing hit song, and sure, you might be a little bit sick of it, and you might be done to death with all the questions. However, there is that, I believe there's that love or that respect for that piece of content, that moment in time that you created, because that's what's given you the audience and the appeal and the springboard to do so many other exciting things. But, you know, I think there'd be a lot of challenges that would go along with that. And, you know, one day I hope that we both have that same problem, that where someone loves one piece of work that we've done and we get to relive that over and over and over again.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember chatting with, a bit of name dropping here, but you know, there's a couple of conventions coming up where Richard Dean Anderson's back in the country. Chatted with him 8 years ago and it was don't mention MacGyver. Don't want to talk about MacGyver.
Yeah.
But you find so many other things to talk about in a quick Wikipedia search. In a quick research session. Days before.
Days before.
Yeah, and then you can work into that as part of the conversation, and that's the special skill of being an MC, I guess, and why you keep coming back. Or they can't find anyone else.
Yeah, or it's just that ironclad contract that I got early on that keeps rolling over.
You're smart. You had a good agent.
Yeah, very good agent. Very good agent. Which is always the key with everything, is to have a good business manager, good agent, and spend all your money on a legal team. Because if you have no filter like me, you'll end up needing it.
Seriously?
Well, I do have a really good team, and I have...
Shout out.
Yeah, a really amazing team, and thankfully I haven't needed too much legal stuff.
Well, we'll see what we can do in the next Trek Zone interview.
No.
Okay. Well, Ben,
Get me in trouble.
Ben, it's been fantastic to catch up with you. We should text each other on and off for the next 5 years before we see you again.
Cannot wait. I love that sort of relationship. It's sort of as available as I am emotionally.
Love it. Done.
Thanks, buddy.
Awesome.